Demaryius Thomas, who appeared to be open again.
That's another NFL wide open window. That ball has to be complete. This is the education of a young quarterback. Looks left. I like him coming back to the right and not panicking. Now, he understands he's got to throw the ball away from his receiver, but you got to complete that pass. And Demaryius Thomas, if you get both hands on it, you got to help your quarterback also.
Colquitt, he'll try to drop one inside the 10 here. Will take it on the hop. Jim Leonard, and he's got it out across the 20, so that worked out pretty well for him. 43-yard kick and a 15-yard return. Introducing NFL Magazine. Sign up for the new official monthly magazine of the National Football League. Scheduled to launch this December. Go to NFL.com/magazine to learn more today. Mark Sanchez has had a good completion percentage tonight. No touchdown passes so far. Sean Green still warming up over there. He hasn't played since the first quarter when he went down with what we thought might have been rib problems. And it's been Joe McKnight's night so far in Sean's stead.
And keep in mind, everybody thinks LaDainian Tomlinson and his absence tonight means what a great running back, and he is a Hall of Fame running back. But what they miss now is his pass protection on third down. Sean Green, the next best pass protector, is out. So it's difficult when you're working with backups in pass protection.
McKnight out to the 25. Brings up second down and 6. We're down to 5 minutes and change in the third quarter. The Jets with a touchdown from a fumble and a recovery by Matt Slauson in the end zone. Other than that, just a couple of field goals so far tonight.
And Slauson there on the left, Mangold. You know, when they lost Mangold earlier this year against Baltimore and Oakland, they really struggled. He's the guy in the middle of that line that keeps them together both in the run and pass games.
All-pro center Nick Mangold. Here comes a blitz. Sanchez gets rid of it, but it's behind Plaxico Burress. And he had to get rid of that one in a hurry.
You know, I thought he had an opportunity to make a play on the other side of that because they got a matchup they would have liked, which was rookie linebacker Von Miller trying to cover in space, and that's not what Von Miller can do.
Jets, they've missed on their last 5 third down situations. Both teams struggling on third down. A little different set here. Mulligan basically in the backfield. Now he's on the move. Sanchez throws. It's intercepted by Goodman. Goodman down the sideline. Touchdown. Sanchez hadn't made a mistake until right there.
And it's a big one. In the corner, Goodman undercuts the route. You're going to see it from this side of the field. It's coming this way. Plaxico from inside runs a whip route. He's going to come right underneath. Plaxico's got to protect his quarterback and use that big body to shield him. But that ball should have never been thrown. Really love the play by Goodman. The break on the football, finishing by catching the football. And now we're rocking and rolling in Denver.
Third pick 6 thrown by Mark Sanchez this year. Prater to try to tie it, and does. Oh, how one play can change the complexion of a football game. And as Mike said, they're rocking and rolling at Sports Authority Field here at Mile High, courtesy of number 21, the 10-year pro.
And Sanchez is 18 for 25 today. That's pretty cool right there. Go ahead.
Third year with the Broncos for Goodman. Sanchez, he's kind of got that look on his face that he had in our meeting last night. He came in after a tough loss to the Patriots, and he hadn't gotten over that, and now the hangover is carrying over to that interception he just threw.
And Goodman, of course, 10 years in the league. Dawkins, 16 years in the league. Champ Bailey, 13 years in the league. So 3 of the 4 starters in the Denver secondary in double-digit years. I'm not sure there's another team in the league that can say that. And Goodman is an elite speed guy that may have lost half a step, but he still flies.
The AARP secondary coming through tonight for the Broncos.
Right, and they're babysitting for that free safety position where they've got Quentin Carter and Raheem Moore, 2 draft picks this year. And that, you know, that all comes from stopping them, forcing the punt, field position, forcing a 3rd down situation, and your defense making another play.
So now they're with a penalty after the touchdown. The kick's going to come from the 20-yard line, so the Jets are going to get good field position out of this and should get Joe McKnight a return. He hasn't been able to take one so far tonight, and Prater, who normally kicks it out of the back of the end zone, he would be hard-pressed to reach that point from where he's kicking off. Still a deep kick.
Looks like last year.
To the 2. McKnight. A little bit of an avenue. Joe McKnight. And the ball's out. Let's see. Denver might have it. Battle for the football. And I mean a fight for the football now. Head linesman and the side judge. Bronco football.
Wesley Woodyard stripped it, and I'm not sure if Rosario didn't get it. But Wesley Woodyard, the nickel linebacker, did a great job stripping the football. Watch 52 come in from the left of your screen. The left-hand hook strips, the ball's loose. And there's Cassius Vaughn, 41, dropping on top of it. And now the fight ensues.
Jets with 2 turnovers in 10 seconds. Wow.
There's nothing that will kill you in the NFL more than losing the turnover differential battle. Joe McKnight, that is the 4th lost fumble by the Jets on special teams this year. And Brad, Mike Westhoff is one of the best special teams coaches in the history of the NFL. Their numbers are great everywhere except right there. That's the most in the NFL.
A lot of teams right here would try to take advantage of that turnover and go for a big play. Probably not the case with the Broncos.
You never know.
McGahee's going to be dropped for a loss of 2 by Wilkerson.
And I'm telling you, the big guys up front, Wilkerson, DeVito, Puha, Dixon, Ellis, Rapati, they're doing a great job rotating those guys through and just extinguishing this entire Denver run attack.
Broncos have been camping out in Jets territory tonight. They don't have anything to show for it except the touchdown by their defense.
They've got to find a way to get the Jets loosened up. The Jets are playing with numbers and they're playing with size, and you got to back them up.
Play action. Tebow throws, and again a diving attempt, and the ball comes out incomplete. Darrelle Revis was covering, and he got his hands on it momentarily.
Play action. They were hoping to get down the field with a dig route. There's Eddie Royal. The ball went in the air. I thought Revis might come up with it right there.
Almost did.
Yep.
Tim has missed his last 5 passes now. Here's a 3rd down and long again. Trying to take advantage of the fumble recovery on the kickoff. They're going to waste another opportunity unless they pick up this 3rd down. Tebow pressured. Throws on the run. And out of bounds. Lance Ball was the closest guy.
Jets kept a free safety in the middle of the field. The post route was not there. And like most left-handed quarterbacks, Brad, much better rolling to his left. I've seen that on tape. He's uncomfortable to his right. And another wonderful opportunity from a field position perspective squandered.
Colquitt dropped the last punt inside the 10, but Jimmy Leonard took it on a hop and got a decent return. See how this one works out. High and short. And Leonard will take it on the fair catch at about the 19-yard line. 3:14 remaining in the third quarter. Around the league this Sunday, Packers and Buccaneers, Green Bay on a roll at 9-0. Best record in franchise history. Matt Schaub's out with a right foot injury. That means it's going to be Matt Leinart. There's some injury problems with a lot of quarterbacks. Big games, Bengals, Ravens, Bucks and Packers, the Titans and the Falcons. Falcons trying to come back from an overtime loss to the Saints, and the Eagles in a must-win with the Giants.
I'm intrigued by Houston and whether or not Matt Leinart has grown up to the point where he's ready to take over that program.
Sanchez, who had a pick six the last throw. This one's complete, and his tight end's got a good gainer of 15. Dustin Kelly brought down by Chris Harris.
Yeah, he's going to beat DJ Williams here, and it's a good throw and catch.
Number 62.
Sanchez will be looking to his left. There's the play right there. Good throw. Good catch. Gets up the field, makes yards.
Interesting, Brian Schottenheimer coming right back to his quarterback who just threw an interception for a touchdown and let him throw on first down, and he got a good one out of that. At the 34-yard line, first down, Jets. Play action. Sanchez looks right, wants to come back to his left. And incomplete, intended for Plaxico Burress, but he had a lot of heat coming from Elvis Dumerville.
And I've got no problem with that throw. He had nothing. He looked at the slant up top. It wasn't there. He came back down to Plaxico. It wasn't there. Play action. Doesn't see it up top. Now he's coming back to his left. This is where I like what Sanchez does. Throw it away. Come back and fight another day.
Second and 10.
That rhymed, didn't it?
It did perfectly.
Wow.
McKnight hit in the backfield. Down he goes. No gain. Robert Ayers, former #1 draft choice, with a tackle.
Yeah, they went right at Ayers and Von Miller, the rookie, first-round pick from Texas A&M.
Out of 2 minutes remaining in the third. They were tied at 3 at halftime, tied at 10 now.
This Denver defense has come a long way in a year. Now you've got Chris Harris, the nickelback, in single coverage all the way out here by himself.
Third and 10, Sanchez backpedals to his left. Now throws incomplete, intended for Santonio Holmes. And he was hit when he got rid of the ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you're trying to throw it into double coverage there. Sanchez got hit pretty well there.
And he's hurt.
The pre-snap read to me was up at top with the nickel out wide.
Here's the end of the play. Von Miller right in the kidneys.
Yep.
Second time he's taken one from Miller. One was in the front. This one's in the back.
I thought the one earlier in the game in the end zone was a late hit. I thought this one was a little closer.
TJ Conley to punt. High, deep spiral. And it bounces out of bounds after a 51-yard kick. Thanksgiving Day, the NFL starts at 10 a.m. A special edition of Game Day Morning, live from Baltimore, previewing all the games. The 3 games we will see on Thanksgiving Day. Thursday night football, great matchup. Ravens and Niners. How about the Harbaugh brothers getting together? Jim and John, the first brothers in NFL history to coach against each other. That's next Thursday, Thanksgiving night, 8 o'clock on NFL Network. We're going to have some fun in that one.
No question.
So now the Broncos at their own 18-yard line. Straight ahead give to the fullback, Spencer Larson. And Larson got 5.
Conversation going on there with Beatles and Bart Scott.
Just some friendly chit-chat. Mark Sanchez are kind of trying to loosen up his arm.
Number 75.
Or his hand. I don't know which, but that big shot he took on that last series having some effect. Behind Tebow on 2nd and 5.
180. Like that.
Now it's McGahee. Willis trying to weave his way. Got a couple. That's it. Bring up 3rd down.
I'm telling you, Denver's going to sit in this and they're going to run the football. They had 3 tackles in the game there. What they call their jumbo set. Chris Clark, but they are down. They are filling so hard. The linebackers are coming downhill so fast. Denver's got to get them off of them. Some play action, some intermediate throws. We haven't seen much option since early.
Right.
It's been a lot more just of the basic zone stuff, not the option.
I think we're going to have a snap before the end of the 3rd. 3rd down and 3. The 2 teams combined are 2 out of 18 on 3rd down tonight.
A couple different ways to look at that stat.
That's for sure. Yeah, with 3 seconds remaining.
Denver. 2nd timeout.
Did Denver take a timeout?
Why are you taking a timeout there?
I have no idea. Unless they really wanted to make sure on 3rd and 3 that they come up with something. Maybe they thought, or maybe Tim Tebow thought that the clock would run out. 3 or 4 second difference on the play clock and the game clock. And boy, that one they might need later.
That's one of those where I really don't understand in 3rd and 3 why you're calling a timeout. They had plenty of time. I think there was still 5-6 seconds left to snap that.
Well, Denver's down to 1 timeout. Remember, they don't have any challenges available either. That should come into play at some point. John Fox doesn't have any challenges left.
Right. Yeah, he was 1-1 tonight. Won't get him a 3rd one.
Yep.
You got to be 2-0 to get that 3rd one.
Barring a penalty, we have the end of the 3rd quarter on this one. 3rd down, a long 2.
And again, you got man coverage out here if you can challenge them.
Empty backfield, and now I got motion.
That drives me nuts when you come off a timeout you don't like anyway.
Number 87.
And then jump off sides at the wide receiver position.
Terrible. Now it's going to be 3rd down and 7.
That's a coach killer right there. How does a wide receiver who's looking in at the ball ever jump off sides?
Eric Decker. Boy, his girlfriend that sang at halftime is going to yell at him about that one.
At least she wore something.
Yes, she did. She did a great job.
She might be wearing Bart Scott's later.
Well, now we think we're going to have the end of the 3rd quarter, but it's 3rd down and 7. You got to be careful here if you're the Broncos. Tebow. This one's way over everybody, including the guy holding the parade mic over there.
Yeah, he got smacked
By David Harris. Harris has got a piece of turf. He just got a piece of Tebow.
The 1st quarter.
To end the 3rd quarter. We were even at halftime. At the end of 3, we're still even. Jets, Broncos, 10-10.
There is a reason our KFC Famous Bowl is famous. Okay, 5 reasons. Layered together for what might be the world's best tasting full meal. How do we make that recipe even more famous?
We put bacon on it.
Wow. Another one for the Colonel. Introducing the new KFC Cheesy Bacon Bowl. Try it right now for only $3.99.
Everything's better with bacon.
No argument here, Rachel. Today's a KFC day. Today tastes so good.
The guys break down the action, complete with highlights and player interviews. The Kay Jewelers postgame show live on NFL Network, TGIT.
Think of all the irreplaceable things on your computer. Now imagine you lost it all. It happens all the time. Hard drives crash, computers get lost, stolen, or hit by viruses. But with Carbonite, no matter what happens to your computer, your files are safe.
For just $59 a year, get unlimited online backup with Carbonite. That's peace of mind for just 16 cents a day. Go to CarboniteTV.com now to try it free for 15 days. No credit card required. And get 2 free months when you decide to buy. Start your free trial at CarboniteTV.com right now.
Why do we test the lithium polymer battery in our Sonata Hybrid for over 275,000 miles? So you'll have one less battery to worry about. The 40 mile per gallon highway Sonata Hybrid. From Hyundai.
Tomorrow on NFL NFL Total Access. Ben Roethlisberger joins us on Steelers Cam to discuss leading the AFC North and where he sees his team in the playoffs. Don't miss NFL Total Access tomorrow, 7 Eastern, here on NFL Network. With Mike Mayock and Alex Flanagan, Brad Nessler.
Thank you.
From Denver, we start the fourth quarter. And the Jets and the Broncos deadlocked in a 10-10 tie. Broncos set to punt on the opening snap of the fourth.
One of those games, neither offense can do anything. We just had a defensive pick-6 for a touchdown. Special teams could end up being huge here.
Well, they came after Colquitt a little bit that time. Jimmy Leonard camps under this one at the 24. Made the first man miss. Goes down as he crossed the 30. Lance Ball made the stop. Mark Sanchez coming back out. Alex, anything on him?
Yeah, Brad, you see he's walking back onto the field, putting his helmet on. Came off, can't tell exactly what it was. Something between his wrist and maybe his neck. Spent the time on the sideline throwing with Mark Brunell, trying to kind of shake off his arm. Maybe kind of a neck, something between his neck and his shoulder. Laughing, though, with Mark Brunell as they went and looked at pictures. I think that's one of the things you got to appreciate about him, which is just his steady demeanor on the sideline.
Nice to have a 41-year-old guy around to help you through the tough times.
He's older than most of the coaches in that staff.
First and 10, New York. Here's a stretch play to McKnight, and Joe's got room to run. First down run, in fact. He's getting a lot more carries than he was anticipating tonight, I can tell you that much.
Sure did. And that time they got Von Miller, the rookie Sam linebacker. They set the edge right there. Look at him right there. Right now, you know you're going downhill and you won as an offense. They got Von Miller hooked. Great job at the point attack by Matt Milligan. The pull by Wayne Hunter. And now you're going downhill.
Joe McKnight came into the game with 53 yards rushing on the season. He's got 46 tonight. Here he is on a toss sweep. And again, nice run to midfield. Well, I tell you what, he's showing some power too.
He's an explosive kid. He ran through the arm tackle of Marcus Thomas, the defensive tackle. Be interesting to see who wears out in the fourth quarter. The people that are used to altitude, or the Jets who are traveling across the country on a short week.
So right now, McKnight's got more yards in this game than he had in the previous 9 coming in. Powell will take his place and give him a breather as the Jets tailback. Patrick Turner in motion from midfield. It's Powell. And no gain. Nice job by Broderick Bunkley. Von Miller.
Yeah, Von Miller came flying from behind. I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of bootleg coming up because of the way the defensive ends are crashing. Watch him come down as hard as he can come. Jumps over the cut block. He gets a big piece of the tackle on the front side.
Big third down here early in the fourth. As you can see, third down has not been kind to either team.
This looks like a run set here for them.
Might be motion. Is there a flag? No. The throw is complete. It's a first down to Turner. Picked up 4.
It's a good job by Sanchez because late rotation by Denver. What happens is they come off the edge here in the safety. Quentin Carter's got to come down and cover man-to-man. They read it correctly, gets the ball out of his hands. Had Carter been more aggressive, he probably could have made that play.
So the Jets in Denver territory at the 46-yard line. Fakes it to Powell, and Sanchez wants to load and go long, and he's going to go down instead. Elvis Dumerville, who a couple of years ago led the league in sacks, has got the second sack of the night for the Broncos.
He led the league because of his power and because he's relentless. Here he's working on Matt Mulligan, and this is the relentless version. Throw him off, quarterback is still alive, go get him. Great acceleration to the ball and a big play.
And it forces second down and long. McKnight back in there on 2nd and 12. Sanchez with 3 wideouts. But it's McKnight on the ground, backpedaling his way for about 3. Here comes 3rd down and 9.
We talked at the very top of the show, Brad, about balance, ground and pound. What do you want to do here? That was their 25th rush of the game against 31 passes. Getting closer to alignment. Remember, when they were successful, it was 54% rush, not the other way around.
Plaxico Burress comes to the near side. Santonio Holmes and Patrick Turner the other way. 3rd down and 9, and the stadium starting to rumble.
Looks like Plax. Bottom of the screen.
Sanchez, screen pass. McKnight, blockers in front. 1st down and more. Down to the 31-yard line. Nice play call and a good job by McKnight.
That is the 4th screen of the evening. They're not a big screen team, but Denver's struggled with it. Now, Brandon Moore, the right guard, is again going to make a big play on this. Here comes the coverage. You run him off out here. You got everybody in here. Look at all the green in between the arrow and the circle. Dump it off. Here's the key block right there. Brandon Moore gets the block, and I like the patience of McKnight, allowing the block to happen before he makes his cut.
1st down, Jets at the Bronco 31-yard line.
350.
Quick throw, and it's too far in front of Santonio Holmes, trying to throw a screen out there and let Plaxico Burress lead the way, and that pass wasn't close.
Yeah, that was another smoke where it's called a run, but you have the bubble as an option on the outside. Just a bad throw.
Jason Hunter's the guy that hit Mark Sanchez on this one.
Yeah, watch him make. If you're the right guard, the one thing you can't do is get beat inside on that across your face. Really good job by Hunter, poor by Moore.
Hunter just got rolled up on Sanchez, and that's why Mark was slow to get up again. He's getting beat up here in this 4th quarter. Powell powers his way for 4.
You hear us talk about zone run and zone schemes. All it really means is the entire line is taking a step to their right and picking up the first different color body as they go. It's not a man scheme. It's like in basketball. It's zone. Pick it up on the fly and then let that back make the cut based on wherever you take it.
On 3rd downs on this drive, Mark Sanchez on 3rd and 2 got a 4-yarder. On 3rd and 9 got a 14-yarder on the screen to McKnight. Let's see how he does on this 3rd down and 6. This time, not so successful. Santonio Holmes, the intended receiver, and again, the pressure was coming on Sanchez.
Yeah, it was a pressure because of a potential overload to their right. Brandon Moore, the guard, was very concerned because he had a couple of. Look at Moore pointing over here. Here comes the overload, trying to tell Sanchez. They've got 3-on-3, good protection. Set your feet and make a throw. You had time, Mark. That's where a veteran quarterback sets his feet and makes a throw.
Well, a guy that has been pretty successful on long field goals. Nick Folk will try a 45-yarder. He missed a 52-yarder. Mark Brunell to hold. They give the Jets the lead, and this one just got inside the right upright. So the Jets inch their way back in front, and by inch I mean the kick that was inches inside the right upright. 9:14 remaining in the ball game. Folk has put the Jets in front.
Football this good deserves pizza this great.
Papa's in the house.
Introducing Papa John's Classic Sausage and Peppers Pizza, topped with fresh sliced green and red peppers, onions, and real Italian sausage. Try one today, or get our Tuscan 6 cheese. Your choice, just $11 each. Plus, earn double points all weekend and earn free pizza fast with Papa Rewards at papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Official pizza sponsor of the NFL.
Right.